Star Wars Episode 9 is set to conclude the Skywalker saga as well as the sequel trilogy by director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, a lot of people out there have been wondering exactly how J.J. Abrams and Chris will be tying the whole entire trilogy together, and also tying this movie to past trilogies from the prequels to the originals, etc. So, one thing is for certain, and we do know this, is that both J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, they are working very hard on developing this movie. Some rewrites have actually taken place before in the past, some script rewrites and adjustments here and there to better suit the characters of Luke, Rey, Kylo, Chewbacca, etc. Now, specifically, what's really interesting about Episode 9, having all to do with Revenge of the Sith and the connections between this movie and that film, is that Star Wars Episode 9 is set to not only have elements of music by John Williams from Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, but also many set designs that were used in the film will be making their way into the Star Wars Episode 9 film, indicating we could see the return of the following planets: Mustafar, Naboo, or even Coruscant. Also, sound effects from Revenge of the Sith will be used in Episode 9, indicating we could have familiar weapons and or locations being a major part for the movie. It's also said that a popular track from Revenge of the Sith will be rescored by John Williams to best fit some of the prequel characters and the sequel characters themselves. So what's really interesting about all of this is that I'm starting to believe that we could very well get a rescored version of the Duel of the Fates between both Kylo Ren and Rey. Could you imagine how amazing that would really be? And we got a little tease of that in Solo's Star Wars story with the return of Darth Maul in the form of a hologram. It just brought back flashbacks for me, remembering watching The Phantom Menace and Revenge of the Sith. You know, one of my favorite tracks of all time, Duel of the Fates, right? It just is embedded in your head as a Star Wars fan. And to hear it once again, quite possibly in Episode 9, by John Williams would be a true treat, not only by Disney, Lucasfilm, JJ and crew, but by John Williams himself, which, by the way, this may be his last Star Wars movie that he is going to be working on. So with that being said, all the set designs from Revenge of the Sith making their way into Episode 9, at least some of them, could very well be a big indicator that we are going back to either Naboo, Tatooine, Coruscant, or quite possibly even Mustafar. We've heard that they will be filming in Italy and quite possibly over at Mount Etna, the same exact location that they used for Revenge of the Sith in Mustafar during the battle between both Anakin and Obi-Wan. And I think that's one special thing that Episode 9 has going for it, is the fact that it will have ties with Revenge of the Sith and the prequel trilogy overall. Now, one thing that a lot of people are also looking forward to is, of course, the characters that will be tied into Episode 9 that have connections to the prequels from The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and or Revenge of the Sith. Now, we do know that JJ and Chris Terrio, they are doing a lot of twists and turns in this movie, and a lot of fans are just really eager to know exactly what that is really going to be. Now, to me, the best way to connect, Episode 9 with Revenge of the Sith is to include either two planets in my book, Mustafar or quite possibly even, alright, they could actually throw in Naboo in there. Mustafar could have ties with Darth Vader, meanwhile Naboo could have ties with Padme Amidala, and that could also have a connection to Rey. I can almost see them as like direct parallels of both Anakin and Padme, where Kylo Ren and Rey are like the alternative versions of those characters. So the best way to match it up could very well be Kylo Ren heading over to Mustafar and checking out Darth Vader's castle, and perhaps Rey going over to Naboo to kind of, locate the origins of her master, Luke Skywalker, what really began the Skywalker legacy and everything like that. That should be a very interesting thing for sure. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, when it comes to Star Wars Episode 9, it really does have to get it right when it comes to callbacks and cameos and tie-ins with the prequel trilogy. It can't just be thrown in there for no reason at all. It has to have substance, it has to have meaning and purpose in order to have it, be very much of a thing that resonates with a lot of fans out there. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.